massive game this weekend, guys. Arsenal take on Manchester United at Old Trafford. How are you feeling about it, Dizzy? And how do you think the game will go?
I think that anything less than an absolute hammering is a mercy that United fans don't deserve. Actually, no. I take it back. Anything less than United players don't deserve, and anything less than the manager doesn't deserve. I think. I think United have been so poor this season that if we come out with a draw, I think you'll be happy. I genuinely don't think we win another game out of the games that we have left, and I have felt that way for a while. I'm debating whether or not I tune into the game because that's just the way that United season's gone. Apparently, Martinez and Rashford are back in training now, which should be some sort of hope for us. But then again, we see, you chop and change players and it's the exact same outcome because the manager doesn't want to switch up the way that he's playing. So, yeah, to be honest, I think 3-0 would be a decent day for United. If we can fluke a win, I won't even be that happy about it, to be honest.
I think you're a little bit. You sure you got that much confidence going into it? I mean, you sound very confident right now. You got to remember Arsenal are second in the league here. Sure, only 3-0.
Bro, the Mazza is they can see 3-4 shots.
Your team are done now. That Palace game was it. Any player who was still clocked in, they clocked out now. They clocked out. Any player who was still trying to do anything, they're not trying to do anything anymore. That was it.
Yep.
Arsenal. The only thing that could potentially drag some United players back is if at half time Arsenal have somehow not scored, and then they go, "Oh, could we just?" And then 5 minutes later, when they're actually trying again, they concede, and it's back to just there's Arsenal again. Arsenal are playing clinical, effective football right now.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal will go to Old Trafford and do a job. Arsenal will take this to the final day. I don't see Arsenal slipping up anywhere. Even if Arsenal was to have a relatively poor day in front of goal, by metrics that United have put up this season, they will still have around 30 shots. One of them will inevitably find its way in the back of the net. And Arsenal's defence has been so good this year that a pretty blunt Manchester United attack, which doesn't even know its best one, won't score past it against Saliba or Gabriel or Raya. So I don't see any world where United get anything out of this game at this point in the season.
Old Trafford is a bogey ground for Arsenal, man. Let's not do this. Like, look, I know we're going to win, but it's not going to be easy. Nobody should come and paint that picture like, oh, it's just going to be a walkover. We're going to go there and smash them 3 or 4-0. Look, I will take a comfortable 2-0 and walk away from there. I'm not there to come and try and overdo anything because this is Old Trafford where we've not had a good record. Even when we were playing some of our best football back in the day, we just didn't have any joy there. And there's that factor to consider. It's the same way when we played Tottenham in the derby. I was telling everybody, I said, well, we're going to win, but it's a derby and anything can happen. And look at it. They almost came back at the end of it. It's a derby. We were 3-0, 3 goals up, and they almost came back. Like, these things happen in certain games. This might not even be because United are going to come and show up and the players are going to show up and play very well. It's just because it is just what it is.
Mm.
It is just like, so for me, it's like we then have to find how to break this bogey, hoodoo ground again. It's like go there, just like what we did with Etihad, going to the Etihad, and we played a different style. Even though we did not win, we did not let them beat us. We had never won at the Etihad. I'm not saying we're coming to play a draw with you at United. All I'm saying is we're going to find a different way to just score our goals, maybe use our set pieces, and then just defend and ride it through. But this idea that everybody's saying because United is so bad, Arsenal is going to come in there and we're just going to smash them 6-0. If they do that, I'm telling you, if that happens, I will be shocked. I know we're going to win, but I don't think it's going to be a steamrolling. That's all I'm saying.
I think Arsenal are going to drop points. I'm not gonna lie. I think I think Arsenal are going to drop points. I think that
we're not dropping points. You just don't like Arsenal.
Let Will land, please. Let Will land.
So it's kind of like back to the point that Dio was making in terms of Arsenal usually do not do that well at Old Trafford, and I think honestly, United only have 2 things really to play for the rest of the season. You got the FA Cup at the end, and then I think those players know that they have a chance to end Arsenal's season because it's over if you drop points. So I think they'll be up for it. And I think if Arsenal do win, I don't think it's going to be a battering. I think it'd be like a 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1 kind of game. But I definitely do think it's going to be nerve-wracking for Arsenal fans. I don't think it's going to be a walkthrough like how people are saying.
When City have played
what
first,
makes you,
well,
sorry, one second, Henry. I'll come to you in a second. What makes you feel, Will, that Man United, who, if we're honest, there hasn't been a good performance from us for months now. What makes you feel they'll be able to galvanise and put in a performance that could potentially stop Arsenal this weekend?
I just think it's the hatred that the two clubs have for each other. Like, I honestly think that the United players will be driven by the fact that they know if they do something today, or not today, but when that game happens, it's over for Arsenal. And I think they would want to be able to be the ones to say that they ended Arsenal's title run. So that's what I think. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's how the game played out and they end up somehow getting lucky and getting a win or a draw.
I heard all of that talk when it was time to end City's treble run. And what did we do? We conceded in 2 minutes. And that was actually playing for something. That was playing to stop the historic treble from being done. And so I'm not trying to hear all of this. So it's a derby, you know, the ball is round, you got a puncher's chance, all that nonsense. I'm not trying to hear it, bro. We've played exactly as who we are. We played as the 8th best team in the league. We've got a minus goal difference. We concede 20 shots a game. I am not trying to hear none of that. I'm not going to lie to you.
What are you saying, Henry? Listen, I'll come to my point in a minute, but I like what Will said. Henry, what are you saying, bro?
If you look at this season, when City have played first, Arsenal have normally gone on to struggle or lost or drew that game. Like, I think they played first when Arsenal lost to Fulham. I think City played first when Arsenal drew to Fulham. However, this Man United team stinks. They're going to concede probably 25 to 30 shots. With Man City probably going to beat Fulham kind of adds that added pressure, you could say, if City do get 3 points. But I think Arsenal will win. Like, I think it will go to the very, very end of the game of the season. And as it stands, I think City will do it. But the other side of me thinks Man United are the ultimate party poopers. And Liverpool have had nearly 100 shots in the 3 games against Man United. I think they scored 5 goals. So Man United have shown in the past that they can, like, derail things. And if Man United somehow...
The point there, though, Henry, though, is Arsenal have Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz and Odegaard, players who are actually in decent form in front of goal. I've got Darwin Núñez, who was too busy drawing horses on Instagram instead of, finishing his chances.
Yeah. I get it. Like,
I had Luis Diaz, who doesn't score goals anyway. The chances never fell to anyone decent for us, and all our players who he did fall to were out of form. Arsenal are in a clinical mode right now. They will just score the goals, and unlike us, we did end up scoring 5 goals. Our biggest problem wasn't the fact that we scored 5 goals; the fact that we conceded 6. Yeah, 6. Like, Arsenal won't concede. Let's say Arsenal only get 2 goals. I don't see Arsenal conceding 2. That's the bigger difference. Arsenal's defense is much more solid and organized than ours was.
Yeah.
Well, what are the injuries going to be like for that game? Because I know against Palace, you guys had Casemiro at center back. You're out there with 38-year-old Johnny Evans.
Well, the problem that we're going to have is Johnny Evans will probably play the game. Lissandro's back in training, but I don't think he should be anywhere near the starting lineup yet. I know he's in training, but this man's been out injured for the better part of 15 months. He's the reason that the other 2 injuries have kind of happened is because he's been rushed back twice. And I worry because actually I'd like to see him on the bench, maybe get some minutes and maybe try in the next 2.5 weeks to build him up for the FA Cup final, because if we can get as many players back for that as possible, it gives you a marginally better chance. There's a City fan, right? It keeps writing in the comments, Terry, where was this chest? Why did you have chest when you played Man City but not us? I don't remember this season saying we're going to beat City. Secondly, I haven't given an opinion yet. But look, people have asked me for months now, would you like Arsenal to win so they win the league? And we're on the eve of the game, almost on the eve of the game, and my mind is changing. And that's because I'm a Man United fan. I love my football club. I don't want to lose. The fact we've dropped down to 8th, the fact that we could get really embarrassed by them this weekend, that makes me want to beat them. It makes me want to win the game. It's almost, but then there's like a counteracting thought in my head, which is, yeah, but if you do that, there's City are doing a 4P, which also hurts. But I'm just in this position where I'm not even really thinking about other clubs at the minute. We're in such free fall, and we've got an FA Cup final coming up, and I am desperate for us to find some type of form before that game. I don't think it's going to happen. It is. People will use the word hopium. It is. It's pure hope. And I do hope we turn up this weekend against Arsenal. I hope we're the party poopers. I hope we look better. I hope we look stronger.
Bruno fit for the game. Like, it's
Bruno, I would assume Bruno will be back, but we don't know yet. But, you know, I hope Rashford and Lissandro come back in and have amazing games. I hope Højlund can sort himself. I just hope. I want us to win the game now. And that's just because I don't know. I just feel so much pain watching Man United at the moment. I don't want to feel more at the weekend. And although it could lead to City creating a record that my team may never touch, just at this particular moment in time, I don't want that. But
Terry, would you take a 1-0 win and you guys play very well and Arsenal wins? Like we beat you 1-0, but you guys play like you look amazing. You look Would you take that? Hold on. So you would rather party poop on me just so that City can do a 4P?
Right?
I get where Dio's coming from. It's a really good question. I'm talking about form as you build up to the final. Potentially, I'm going to have to see how I feel after. Do you know what? This isn't me sitting on the fence. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that until it happens. Right now, I just want Man United to put a bit of pride back into Man United. That's really how I'm feeling. But that's what I want to happen. What I fear happening is destruction. What I fear happening is an abomination. What I worry about happening is an early goal from you guys playing fast-paced, and then we collapse at home and hold 4, we hold 5, we hold 6, because that is plausible in this game. It is plausible with the holes in our midfield, the lack of certain players, the confidence being on the floor, the fact that Palace, who, by the way, I've actually watched 65 minutes of the game back because I'm a glutton for punishment. They weren't that good. They were good. They weren't amazing.
Man United were just so bad.
We were so bad. And if we are anywhere near that bad this weekend against Arsenal, it could be a baptism. It could be a circumcision in front of with no anesthetic in front of 75,000 people. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just sort of in this mindset of please, Man United, put in a performance. I need it.
I'll answer Dio's question. No, I won't take a 1-0 cagey game where Arsenal win, but we played great football, simply because moral victories are out the window for United this season. There is no more moral, maybe we could get something going for this. No, that's over with. That's absolutely over with now. The only game that matters to United at this point, unless we win the games, is the City FA Cup final. If we can win that game will mean something to United fans.
But you need some form to go into that game. If you get absolutely slapped, like 4-5-0 against Arsenal, and I don't know,
that's what I'm saying.
You need something to go into that game because City will steamroll you.
You guys just give me a 2-0 win and play very well.
If the options are we play awfully and get battered, or we play really well and lose 1-0, then of course I'm picking the smaller defeat and playing well.
Of course.
But right now I want to.
I'm saying, unless we win, it really doesn't matter because United players' confidence is on the floor anyway. So if they put in a performance and still lose, it might do further damage to their confidence anyway.
Even when